All right, I think it's time to go out for a run here, Black Rock Desert, and this is my project for today. Transforming that from an idea into a reality on the Playa. So we'll see how it goes today. Well, I'm gonna lose light soon, but I'm about maybe 9 miles to go. I'm on the S of multiverse, and then I gotta do one circumnav of my route. So it takes a long time to do it when you're trying to spell something. You got no points of reference. But this is kind of a cool, fun project. This year, with the pandemic happening, Burning Man did not happen. But I had an opportunity to go out to the desert with a group of friends. And while I was there, I wanted to do something I do every year there, which was run the Burning Man 50K Ultramarathon. I've done it, I think, 8 times now. I've done a video each time. My good friend Cherie Yanek in New York puts it on. And I thought that if there was anybody out on the Playa in the Black Rock Desert during Burning Man when it should have happened, someone has to go and run an ultramarathon. So I thought about doing that, and to make it more interesting, because it's just a blank slate, literally a blank slate, I started to think about how to create something kind of interesting and unusual. And I'm on Strava, which is a program, an application which essentially tracks your movements. And whenever you get a Strava run under your belt, it shows you a pattern, a line. And the line sometimes is turned into art by people. So they'll go out there throughout their city and they'll try and spell something out or make a drawing or something like that. And I thought Burning Man would be an amazing place to do that, because there's nothing in the way. You can just run for 3 miles straight, take a right and run again for 3 miles straight, and you can pretty much do anything you want out there in terms of making shape. So I thought, okay, I'll make a giant Strava art piece and figure out how to make it exactly 50K or 31 miles and create something by running this pattern in the desert. So that was my idea when I went out there. And I thought, okay, in order to do this, I need to be able to keep track very precisely of where I am while I'm doing this. All right, leaving camp.
Bye, Cherie. Have fun.
Thank you.
Going to the castle.
Got to find the center, and then we'll go from there. I'm trying to find the center of the Playa near where the man is, and orient myself, and then just start covering ground. It's going to be a weird one. A little warm. I got liquid, hydrated, kind of rested, although I did a 40-mile run a few days ago. And this is going to be an awkward stop-and-go affair. The way to keep track of it precisely is to basically take a look at your phone. And my phone became my best friend and my guide while I'm out there, because there are so few points of reference. Strava, about to start. Make sure we head in the right direction. Oh, interesting. Strava also has the Burning Man map on it. Oh, that's actually convenient. Okay. Starting, setting direction. I need to look at something and figure out. I'll aim for that and go. I'm figuring about a 1/4 mile, maybe just a bit more. So here we go, starting off. I need to look at this and see if I'm heading in the right direction. It'll start to give me a little bit of a red line, I hope, as it starts to move. And we'll see. And I thought, okay, so if I'm going to do this, what do I want to do? What do I want to celebrate? What message do I want to put out there? And the theme of this year's Burning Man, should it have happened, would have been the multiverse, which is appropriate again because this is a digital piece of art that exists in literally another dimension. And I thought, okay, let me see what I can do. And I sat down with a pen and a paper, and I just drew out the lettering that I thought would be appropriate for this. And the lettering basically gave me an idea of the scale. So I drew out exactly the letters that I wanted to see, and then drew a pattern around it.
So I've got BM. Tricky part is figuring out where that little point vertices is. So I'm kind of making a bit of a mark. Hopefully I'll be able to see it and return to that.
And then I did some napkin math. I essentially took a look at a series of different lengths and added up what I thought would be the proper distance. So I just said, okay, if this letter is this high, I need to duplicate that, let's say 75 times, and that will enable me to spell out all the characters. After I spelled out all the characters, I would then need to figure out how to circle them in a thing that looked like either the Burning Man head or the shape of the Playa, which is essentially a big pentagon. So I took this out and I thought, okay, so I'm going to have to use this map, which is the drawing I made, and my phone, on the other hand, to keep track of exactly where I am. And during this whole process, I could not deviate from the line. If I deviated from the line, it would show up as a little artifact that would add itself into the equation and kind of mar the artwork somewhat. So I wasn't sure how it would all go. I wasn't sure how I could keep exactly on track into the desert. But this time there was nothing out there. It was just a wasteland. And I was running and trying to figure out how to get back to the exact same spot. So I figured the scale would end up being important. And I pegged it somewhere around a third of a mile height of the letter. So it would be about a third of a mile, which would be the letter height.
Getting my line straight seems to be about the hardest part. So what I'm doing right now is dragging my foot at the top of the M. And I can pick something out on the horizon and run to that. Just trying to make it sure it's about aligned. That gives me perspective, and I can shoot off in this direction.
My letters and numbers were about half a kilometer big while I was out there.
Gonna have some calories, some melted chocolate bar maybe, and actually, you know what I want? Applesauce. This perfect little squeeze bottle, delicious to eat, 45 quick calories. Oh yeah. All right, backpack picked up again. Got to head do the final leg of the K. Once I've done the final leg of the K, I head down and do the 0 on 2020.
And to keep track of these things, I always needed to leave something so I had a visual. I knew where to get back to while I was running. And I, at one point, was using a stack of water bottles, which, believe it or not, you can't see from a quarter mile away. So you just have to go on faith that this is where I was. I can see where the line was. I'm going to go back to this line, and then I would go directly to the water bottle.
So my Playa support Doug has just arrived on his one wheel.
Crew team, hoo-ha-ha. I got some fan base coming for you too. We got Neil and Veronica coming to cheer you on.
That's great. Okay. He brought me a coconut water.
Coconut water.
Good.
I made a tactical error at one point.
Gee, I'm going to leave my backpack since the sand piles are hard to see.
And left my pack, which is this right here, this pack, as a waypoint that I could see. I'd done it a couple times, knowing that I was taking a slight risk leaving it out in the middle of the desert, out in the middle of nowhere. So I took the pack, I left it. I ran out maybe 5 minutes before I got back.
So someone has taken my backpack. Hopefully it's just someone friendly who thought it was moop, matter out of place, and took off with it. Bad news is it's got my GoPro, so I'm recording this on my phone now. And my phone is evidently getting to be too hot. My backpack was right on this spot, and it is gone. I've had a couple people looking. My friends know. Probably someone grabbed it and we'll probably end up turning it in. My name is on the tag on the front. It is a drag. Can't see anything anywhere. I knew it was a risk, but I'm going to continue, finish the project one way or another. I got the phone, which is now too hot to record video properly because it's in the sun, but I will release to the universe that I need this thing back.
And when I got back, I knew I was in the right place, but I also knew my bag was not there. My bag had my food, my water, it had my GoPro in it, so the thing that I was recording on. And it left me in a little bit of dilemma because suddenly I was stuck. I couldn't leave my line, otherwise I'd have to abandon the project. So I waved down a couple people and I said, come over.
Look at this, a savior on the Playa.
It's not, you could have one that's cold, but it's going to be all loosey-goosey.
It is all good.
This is just...
And they're, of course, wondering what I'm doing. And I kind of explained the project to them. And I had my phone so I could show them the map that I was creating, but I couldn't leave that. So eventually I saw a sheriff and I waved them down. They were very curious as to why I was sitting there waving them down, not walking over to them. Came over and I asked if anybody had turned it in. Nobody had turned it in. But he was, again, very intrigued by what I was doing because he could see the lines on my phone that I had been creating. And I thought, well, I'm going to complete this project no matter what, even if I don't have the footage, the GoPro footage from it.
I'm looking at this line joining right here, and here's my footprint. Coming from there, turning around, and following my line right back on the zero.
I had my good friend Doug with me, and I knew at some point he would come back out and try and find me on his one wheel. And at that point, I would hopefully be able to get a different set of backpack, water, liquid, food, and that sort of thing, so I could keep on.
Okay, let's go check in on Cherie. Cherie's running his ultramarathon. We're worried because his backpack did get taken off the Playa that he was using as a marker. So his GoPro might be gone, so the only footage of his run might be the drone and this 360. So we're hoping positive thoughts to the universe that this works. Here's Cherie. How you doing, buddy?
Also, as is the case often at Burning Man, the Playa provides. There was a camp nearby and a couple gals came over who were so nice about it. They were ready to give me liquid, they were ready to give me food, they were ready to give me whatever I needed. I just couldn't leave the line I was on.
Oh.
Pickles, the mermaid that we found on the Playa here, is about to feed me a pickle, which I will have.
Please, would you like me to feed it to you?
I will just grab one.
Okay.
I took off and I completed it.
Pan Am, that is what I'm finding on the Playa. Pan Am Junior Clipper Pilot. That's me. That'll be my favorite piece of moop that I've picked up. This is not far from where 747 was camped. By the way, shout out to my dear friend Fluffer, Tony, who's a part of that camp that over a series of 3 years, or maybe even 4 years, brought out from the Mojave Desert the majority of a 747 plane and turned it into an art car and rode around the Playa with a DJ on the wings, projections on the sides of the plane, lights up in the upper deck where the DJ played, lights on the wings, and a whole section carved out like the most unbelievable dance club you'll ever see.
I had a couple other challenges. One of the big challenges was at night, as darkness came, there are no frames of reference at all. There are lights in certain places, but as is often the case at Burning Man, the lights move because it might be a car or something. So going in one particular direction, I was okay. I could see a light and I could make a straight line to that point. But then when it really got dark and I was going in a different direction without a waypoint, my line started to get a little bit curvy before finishing. This was about maybe 26, 27 miles into the project. And then, again, I wasn't sure how long it would take. It ended up taking longer than I had imagined. And I was also lucky that Doug came in, because Doug was able to bring me an external battery, which I needed desperately. I didn't imagine. I had a full battery when I started. It got dropped down to almost nothing. And I had to refill it, I think, 2 or 3 times because I was glued to the phone, especially once you start doing the cursive letters on the bottom, because who does cursive anymore, right? So I had to think through, okay, what's this going to look like? Where do I need to turn? How do I need to make this legible so that people could read it? And these were all the little things that were going on in the project. Never mind the running part, or covering the distance, or keeping fueled, or the fact that I needed to get back to my camp at some point in the darkness. But these are all the different parts I was thinking about. And getting to the end of this project and having the digital art to go back to superimpose on a map of the Playa and take a look and see that I got the heart-shaped dot on the eye right in the middle of center camp, which is a landmark at Burning Man. I got the 0 of 2020 right in the middle of where the man would have been burned, in the middle of that. Where the temple is up towards the top where it says Burning Man 50K. So in years when Burning Man's actually happening, where that camp is right there is pretty much where the golden spike is put in, which is the start of Burning Man and the build. So that's where the man actually burns. And you can see the desert there, despite having many man burns happen, is still in very good condition. They put down all kinds of gravel and dirt, the color of the Playa, to burn on top of. And then they take all that away so you don't mark the Playa, which is good. I'm marking the Playa today virtually. I liked those little tiny details that nobody would appreciate. I had people approach me while I was out there wondering what in the hell I'm doing. So, here we go. Hey, hey! Nice. Oh, I thought it was a Canadian flag for a second. Just red.
What are you doing out here?
I'm drawing virtually on the Playa.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
No.
Wow, good luck.
The Burning Man 50K, which is not happening this year.
You're doing it.
I do it every year. I'm spelling it. That's what I'm spelling out right there. Yep.
You sick fuck.
I'm near a vortex. What's your name?
John.
John?
How far are you going?
Well, I'm doing as many miles as it takes to complete my design right here.
Got it.
So I am 10 miles in.
Okay.
And I've spelled out BM50K, and I've done a 0 and a 2, and I'm starting the next 0. The man is right over here usually, so I'm running around the man.
Nice.
For the 0. Oh, hold on, I gotta take my glasses off. You're gonna spray me.
That sounds good.
You are majestic.
Thank you. Awesome.
Oh my gosh, look at
You
you.
still have to write multiverse.
Yeah.
Can I
You wanna
just
see?
over your shoulder?
Yeah, you wanna see what I got?
Yeah.
How long have I been running in my life?
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of,
High
like,
octane.
decades.
Since the
yeah.
day you could start running.
No, not exactly. I used to play soccer, and then I started running, and it seemed simpler, so.
Oh.
Don't need 22 people, and yes. Because people are camped out here and there, very sparse. Coming by the voodoo axe throwing camp there that we visited yesterday. Threw some axes and knives. They got below darts too. Hello! What's that? Would you like some water, sir? I would not turn down water, however, I can't come over to you. I'm doing art on the Playa, and if I deviate from my line, I'll ruin it. It's like a giant Etch-a-Sketch, the world's biggest one. Here's the... This is awesome.
the Voodoo Axe Throwing Camp is coming over to say hello. I'm Carrie. I'm filming, by the way.
Yeah, no problem, Gary. What up? I'm Bishop. Hello.
Nice to meet you, Bishop. I
Pleasure
appreciate
to cross
it.
the path, man. I actually like helping do trash, things like that.
Yeah, I like it too. I've been picking up interesting things out here.
You'd be surprised. There are some pretty cool artifacts every once in a while you find.
My friend, I appreciate that more than you know.
Yeah, no problem, man. Oh, sweet. Hell yeah. Keep it up, please. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let me take you from your art.
And sometimes they would see me running by their camp and then around it, and they'd wonder, what in the hell am I doing? There was one guy who was manning, had nothing to do with Burning Man, or not Burning Man, as the case would be.
Look at John here. He's doing air quality control monitoring because of smoke and that sort of thing.
Yes, sir.
Does the dust play havoc?
It does, and then the wildfires out in California are
Oh,
another
Jesus.
factor.
It's been a nice day, though.
It has, yeah. I mean, it's a lot cooler with all the haze in the air.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, how long do you stay out here?
I've been out here for 10 days almost,
And how long do you stay?
till tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day.
It's nice that it overlapped with Burning Man. It made it more interesting for you.
Yeah,
People come over,
met
say
some
hi.
Interesting people, met you. Yeah, of course.
Well, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you as well.
I got to continue on my V.
All right, well, best of luck with that.
Thank you.
Very specifically, this was not a Burning Man organization sanctioned visit. Simply, the Black Rock Desert is public land and it's open, and as a member of the public, people can go out, I can go out and camp at the desert and do what I like as long as I look after myself. In fact, we talked to several of the common Burning Man authorities who are out there, or common rangers, sheriffs, and BLM folks who were out on the Playa.
Rangers looking out. Hey guys,
Your morning run?
I'm doing Strava art.
Okay.
I'm making a huge line. That little black thing over there is my backpack. I got to get back to it because it's part of the vertex for the K.
Tell us that's your backpack. We'll leave it alone.
Yeah, you may see it in a couple different places because I have to go back to it to make a straight line. That's what I'll do.
Awesome.
How's it going out here so far for you guys?
Great.
Are people being good?
For the most part.
Good enough? I'd be a little disappointed if it was be totally good, but like it seems like most people are fairly respectful, and
For the most part, yeah.
that's good to hear.
Yeah, no, we haven't had too many major issues. A couple illegal burns.
Yeah.
We had a couple tents run over.
Oh no.
One during the day yesterday. Luckily, nobody was in them.
Thank God.
One last night. Nobody was hurt.
Wow. Like just someone.
Driving too fast. Camps without any lights on them.
Yeah.
You told him not to pick up your backpack?
Yeah, they know.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
crewing him to make sure he survives. So I got support crew covered. You guys having a good day?
Yes, we are.
Fantastic.
It's good to have you guys out here. Thank you for letting us come and play.
It's public lands. It's yours to enjoy.
That is refreshing to hear. I appreciate that.
You have a great day.
You too.
Good luck with your art.
Thank you. All right, that was nice.
And they basically said that they were impressed with how prepared people were who came out there. And these are probably the Burning Man people who came out because they didn't want to do a virtual burn sitting in front of a computer. They wanted to go out to the desert, maintain distance. I'd say probably there were a couple thousand people out there, maybe at most. And they were spread over many, many square miles. So it ended up being a project the next day that I went up to find out from another sheriff or ranger about did anybody turn in the backpack. And there's a crowd of people around his truck because there was some nice PR going both ways from the sheriff and the not burners to the sheriff. And what ended up happening is he says, "Oh my God, are you the guy? I heard about your project. Show them what you're doing. Show them what you're doing." So all these ragtag burner crew sort of huddle around and as best they could with the socially distanced spacing between us. And I pulled up on my phone and I showed them, and they were like, "I can't believe you did that out in the middle of nothing, and that you could actually write that neat. How in the heck did you do that?" So for me, completing that project was kind of exciting. Also a way to pay respect to the whole theme of Burning Man that should have happened this year that didn't.
One cool thing is you can actually land a plane out here. Those are friends of ours. We got Phil and Farrell from Sacramento-ish area who come in. And apparently, if you fly in a plane of this size, a Cessna, that is what your camp looks like. They're giving my buddies a ride, and there they go, over the playa. And they camp just over there.
This was not again, a Burning Man sanctioned project. It was something that I wanted to do myself, go out in the desert and run that 50K and do this digital art piece, which is the biggest and most audacious Strava art project that I've ever done. And I'm guessing actually it might be the biggest piece of Burning Man art that anybody's ever done, considering the fact that it spans more or less the entire Playa map. It's about exactly what you could fit in there. Any other year when you had Burning Man, it would be difficult to keep the lines straight, to stay on course and make something that continuous, that complete, that cohesive without bumping into art cars, trying to go around art pieces, having to move because of the camps and that sort of thing. So because of the pandemic, this was a little different this year. So there was an art car out there with the shape of the plague doctor. One of the things we had was a plague doctor mask, and I thought that it would be kind of cool to pay homage to the fact that this is a pandemic. And everybody had masks on out there. So this was bringing that whole idea into the equation from what we did. And there was an art car that was also shaped like that. So I was able to run next to the plague doctor mask art car wearing the plague doctor mask, which still has Playa dust on it, actually. Oh my God.
Wow. I really admire what you're doing. Thank you.
And I love a friendly plague doctor.
Yeah, exactly. A couple other quick notes from the run. I had a couple folks from camps watching me, wanting to come over. And when I say camp, I mean some people are camping there together. So I had people come over and offer me food, offer me water. It was almost like I had support out there, even though I did not have support. I had very, very independently decided to go do this with nothing but the backpack that I had on, my buddy Doug to help me out and create the artwork that we did. So here it is, the ticket to the Burning Man multiverse that never was. It went virtual this year. And rather than doing a normal Burning Man, they did a virtual Burning Man, except for some people went out to the Playa still. Now, you may be wondering, because you've seen footage about my missing pack, and that troubled me for a while because I had footage from a couple different adventures on there with my GoPro, and I was planning on using my backpack to go down to the Grand Canyon, to go up Mount Whitney, a whole bunch of different places. And I was thinking if someone picked it up off the Playa, most likely they would try and give it back somehow. So the rangers didn't work, the sheriff didn't work. Someone suggested I go to a Facebook group and post up there, which I ended up doing. So here's what I posted on my Facebook. I said, you know, what a unique time to be on the Playa. I had been using my pack as a marker when I undertook this digital art project on Sunday. Unfortunately, someone grabbed it in the 6 minutes I was away from it and hope mistook it for matter out of place or moop. If anyone hears of a pack that you can see in this post, a black Camelback, please let me know. My GoPro, which had footage from several recent projects, and I showed a few pictures, including a picture of the backpack. So there's the art in progress. There's video of the pack. There's Samantha and Amanda who gave me a little bit of assistance out there. And I told them a little bit about the art project that I was doing, running 31 miles and forming this big thing, and I hoped someone would find it. And eventually someone suggested that I go over to another thread in another group. So Andrew, thank you for that. And I went over here. So someone posted this in another group. Found a backpack on the Playa. Belong to anyone? And there is my dusty, tried and true Camelback. And we got some smart-ass Burning Man things That's mine from 2005. There was a guy, there's Andrew, the guy who posted it, just read the story. GoPro, he's going to be so stoked. And then that's mine from 2006. I thought this was a mask and someone was looking at the camera. Is there a dog in there? There was a whole joke about bringing dogs out to the playa. It's like Storage Wars, Black Rock City. What treasures are inside? Let's start the beginning, the bidding rather. Oh my gosh, it was such a relief. So we had this note back and forth. She'd tried to send me a message, but I didn't know who she was originally. And so then we got back and forth, and I got the pack back. It was so good to get it back and have that footage. That showed up, and I was able to grab the footage and throw it into this video. Yay, thank you so much, Cherie G-Man and your boyfriend, for grabbing that. And even though you made me wait a couple days, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe nobody found it. So she was apparently pinned down on the playa for 24 hours by a windstorm that was so bad and so dusty, she had to seek shelter in her car for 24 hours, which is why I worried for longer than I would have otherwise. So happy story, cool ending. Couple of the Burning Man principles. One of the precepts is radical self-reliance. And I knew going into this that my camp was going to be moving when I was done. And I wasn't sure how long this would take. It took longer than I thought simply because I had to pay so much attention to navigation as it was happening. And at night, things are hard to find on the Playa. In fact, the night before, someone had wandered into our camp who was thoroughly lost and in tears and ended up sleeping in one of our lawn chairs until the light came out and he could figure out where his family was, which was less than a quarter mile away, but he had no idea how to get back there. So at night, I knew that there was one camp which I could get back to, and my friends left me a bicycle, and that bicycle would have brought me back to where I needed to go to get them. Otherwise, I would have had to run another 3 or 4 miles to get over to the edge of the playa where the camp had moved to. And I roll up to where I knew the bike was, and there are some people getting into a camper at that point. We thought nobody would be leaving there, but they ended up packing their stuff up. And I said, did someone possibly leave a bike and a bag with some stuff in it here? And they said, oh, are you Cherie? I said, yes. They said, oh, yes, we've got it. We didn't know if you were going to be there, so we just put stuff away. And I thought, oh my God. So they went, they got the bike, they got the bag, and then they offered me a ride back to where my camp was. So instead of having to ride my bike in the dark, all sweated out and tired, they gave me a ride back to where my camp was. So once more, although we had made radical, self-reliant preparations, the Playa provided, and I was able to get a ride back to connect with my friends. So another little cool detail about this whole run. So to wrap up, I appreciate you watching this video. These are, again, labors of love. If you're curious about the Strava and you want to follow me, I will put a link in the description. It just tells you when I go out and go for a run. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I share a lot of adventures. They're generally positive. It is at Cherie Ward at Instagram. Again, I'll put it in the description below. please do subscribe or give a thumbs up if you like this. It is much appreciated. It helps out in the grand scheme of things. Lastly, if you want and you feel inclined to support, again, this type of content, I have a Patreon account, and that's the most direct way you can support a content creator like myself. So, hope you enjoyed it. Comment below if you did, if you got other ideas. Peace out. Cherie.
Sarge!
How's it going, buddy?
Return!
Dude! And this is this year's temple. Found a mushroom who cannot count numbers accurately.
Patch of the multiverse.
We met owl, and now we see an owl. Big labyrinth here. That's kind of cool to see. One cool thing here is strangers bring mildly dangerous things that you can go and play on and encourage you to basically put safety third.
Safety third, always.
That's it. We are Burning Man. So this is a little effigy, very basic man that's appeared out here. Look at this red van, red tomatoes, very generous. Jessica's fantastic. She is the champion of the day. Old coots giving advice. Look at this. Coffee and donuts, hot and fresh.
My coffee fix.
Is he
How you guys doing?
Oh, still hot.
Look at this.
Coffee and donuts, you want some?
Do you want to participate in our thing?
Hey Bonnie, can you give me a little hand over here? I just realized what's kind of cool about this burn. Because there's not that many people, it's not overwhelming, you visit virtually all the camps and they're happy to see you. One of the things that happens when the sun sets is the howling begins. So as soon as that little sliver of sun disappears, we're gonna get some howling going. And 3, 2, 1. The Hardley camp is here now. Yeah. There's dancing going on. Checking out your poofer. Poof it! Here we go. Here's the poof. Oh. What are we doing? Get it! Get it! Get it! He's chasing the moop. Get it! Faster! Faster!
There's your cardio.
Get it! You can do it, Doug! Come on! You can do it!
Body slam it. Jump on top.
Keep going now. It's over there next to the bowling ball. Oh, look at that! Holding one. Look at that right there. Grab it. Oh, shit.
Hit it with my tire.
Yeah. Come on, man. There has to be an end to the story.
That's the most beautiful thing ever.
It is. Jesus Christ. Okay. Ooh, I'm almost there. Right. Hold on, hold on. Go, 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 go. I got it. Okay. I have conquered it. Move, retrieve. Dude, thank you for the ride. I'll just run back.
Oh, you sure?
Have a good one.
All right, man. That was fun. You can't buy love no matter what you spend, but imagination's free, so just make pretend. There ain't no shame you don't have to defend. Sometimes the means justifies the end, so don't fuck yourself, my friend. You know what to do, so just go do it. Lock the door and get down to it. If it feels good, don't you poop. burning with me if it's not Burning Man. Go fuck yourselves. Love you all. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, my friend. Got another show in Playa. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Well, it's pretty clear if it was up to him, we would all be.
Babies everywhere.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah.
All right, who's up?
Oh my god, that was so good.
Follow that. I mean, mic drop.
That wasn't Daft Punk?
Yeah, that was Daft Punk.
That was.
Guys, that was the first Daft Punk performance
Without a helmet.
at Burning Man. Yeah.
Trash fence?
This is the trash fence. This is the human trash
We are
fence.
the
This is
trash
where they
fence.
end
This
up.
is the trash
We
fence.
are the trash fans.
We
We are the people. We
Wow.
are the things
What'd you
that
think?
stop.
That was amazing.
Right?
I loved it.